as Tampa's a great example of reclamation projects combined with great scouting. It's a great World Series, Sports Doctor,
really
and
is.
you should absolutely be ashamed of yourself if you're not a fan. All right, here we go. Second half action ready to start here at Ledyard High School. The Vikings on top 2-0, and Ledyard will have the first possession here of half number 2. Going left to right in the home blue. Right off the bat, English tries to put it outside, and it's intercepted by East Lyme, and the Vikings in the all-white going the other direction, right to left.
Yeah, but let's see if there's a little bit of pep in the step for Ledyard right now. See if they can match some intensity and catch a break here early.
Through the midfield now come the Vikings. Straight through, McCullum, long ball out in front, race to it, and a beautiful job by Drummond as she got there one step ahead.
Yep, I don't like to see goalies lead with their head, though, and if she goes off to the side there, keep herself safe. Like to see that a little bit better next time, but, you know, great save. Way to read it. She read the play well. Meredith was coming down pretty heavily.
Kung, such a great player for East
Lyme.
Lyme.
You know, nice composure.
Absolutely, and she's here. Now we get a chance to see, this side of the field, which was on the far side of the field before, which is where a lot of the action happens. So we're going to get a chance to see more of Kung. We didn't get a chance to see her as readily up close, and there's a nice touch pass. Out it goes to Isabella Mazzi, and now, of course, anyone who recognizes the Mazzi name knows that dear friend New London, Maurizio and Marco Mazzi, who two of the first people who ever explained to me that soccer was was not a communist sport, and in fact was globally renowned, and they were good soccer players.
Wasn't he? He was a machine.
They were good soccer players.
He was a machine. He was like a man amongst boys. When I saw him he had that full mustache and beard, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God."
Marco looked like everything I envisioned an Italian heartthrob to look like. I mean, he had he looked like Lorenzo Lamas playing soccer at 18 years old, and of course Maurizio, a good friend of mine who tolerated me through high school, which I can't thank him enough for having done that. And now get the chance to see his daughter Isabella, and I appreciate the name as well.
Yeah, good family. Yeah. Just good people, you know.
Actually, Marco was one of the first people. Marco was in Italy.
Is he still in Italy?
Yeah, and he was giving reports on back in March and April. He was giving reports. Remember when Italy was overwhelmed with COVID?
Yeah.
When we hadn't really seen it quite yet, and Italy was was being ravaged, and he was posting on Facebook and stuff, giving people saying,
heads up,
saying like, you guys got to take this thing seriously. Look at our hospitals, look at our things. It was unfortunate to see him that way. Here's Healy, point blank, and just shoots it high.
Yep.
It was terrible to have to see him. That's the way you see him. But it was so nice to feel a little bit of home out there.
Yeah, and I think and they're going through it again right now. Unfortunately, I just saw the latest updates out there in Italy again. Second wave going through, but tonight's not about COVID. Tonight's about these kids. So let's just enjoy this and watch a great game. Second half,
2-0 Vikings with the goal kick. In front, and East Lyme will try to turn it and play it back, but it's picked off by Ledyard going in the other direction. English trying to run on and steps through. Nice play, McCullum, but she loses it. Dorico had it for a moment, and now the Vikings will retain again and try to switch fields. Belleville. Intercepted by English. Trying to get Dorico to run on, but instead it was the Vikings. And here's a deflected ball, and Ledyard will run it out through the defensive end.
Nicely done by Maddie right there. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Won the ball, played the feet.
I like what I'm seeing here from the Colonels early on. Much more composed even.
Yep, it was.
Here's a quick transition in the other direction. Through ball, well done. In front, shot, save, loose, and it held on to. Beautifully done. Drummond on the spot with a double opportunity. Stout.
That's a great save. I can't wait to watch that one later. That was well done. Fearless. Because I think Healy was right there for a rebound. You just don't see goalkeepers like that every day.
Here's Healy with a shot and a save again. Drummond keeping Ledyard in it right now.
Athlete, competitor.
So we're going to get a corner kick far side from the Vikings. Looks like Mazzulli will take it. Mazzulli approaches. Back post. And a goal! It's off a deflection. That might have been a self goal. It went off of a Ledyard person. We'll see who they credit it with for East Lyme. That was a double deflection off the corner kick, and I'm not sure who on East Lyme got a foot on it, but 3-0 Vikings go on top.
Yeah, that's a tough goal right there. It's now you're going to see if whether Ledyard keeps the head up, keeps plugging away, or not. And this is what you wanted to try to. Unfortunately, it's easier said than done. The first 6 minutes of the game or second half, you're just trying to avoid that third goal within 10 minutes. But it's easier said than done. This is a good East Lyme team. I do have to give a shout out to my Lady Lancers, who are at a 1-1 tie right now with Fitch back in Lancer Nation. So good job, Lancers. Keep it up. Get one
Time
more.
of the Vikings' goal is 45-33. It is an own goal.
I'll tell you what, once in a
called
while.
it. You called it.
Once in a while, I know what I'm talking
You
about. It
called
was an own goal, which is a danger on any corner. You're trying to get a body part on it to get it to go one way, and geometry is a funny business. Cause
Look at Healy get after that.
now watch the move right here.
Yeah, a little step over. Oop. See ya.
So quick, and she gets the trip. She got beaten up. If you have any questions about the toughness, by the way, the sports doctor and I, a few years ago, went and did a lacrosse practice with the Montville High School girls, and I couldn't walk for about.
I vaguely remember that.
I couldn't walk for
Yeah.
about 2 weeks afterwards. Of course, my niece Alexis DeLucia just tortured and teased me the entire practice, but I couldn't walk afterwards. They beat me up. Corner in front, loose, and right to Drummond. It was.
See, this is where I'm thinking, slow it down. No need to get that out quick. Get them up, get organized, slow everything down. East Lyme likes this pace. They like to play quick. They like to win it quickly. They like to shove it down your throat a little quicker, and it's they like to attack and just try to slow things down.
Feels like East Lyme's really starting to turn up the pressure, though. They're Ledyard a little bit, flat line defensively.
Yeah, I like how they move off the ball up from the attacking third. Not so much, not so many straight runs up and down the field. A little bit more diagonal, drifting away kind of runs and create space for themselves. But Ledyard's come ready to play though. They're competing, they're getting after it, and you can see where they've had some close results. Not giving up too many goals. With Drummond in goal, see why.
I mean, imagine without her. I mean, she's been fabulous.
Which, yeah, three or four legitimate goal-saving saves.
And
already.
only a sophomore. So that's going to be that bodes well for the back line of Ledyard for the next couple of years, a veteran keeper, because she's been remarkable. Those right in front, tough chance here, popped just over the net.
Yeah, that was too easy. That was a little bit too easy there. So.
Well, this is where, as a keeper, you have to talk to your defense too, because they're getting tired, they're starting to get beat, and it's easy to get frustrated back there. So you got to let them know what you need.
Yeah.
You got to communicate and say, I need you to I need you to mark there, I need you to go there. This is where the keeper needs to step up a little bit and sort of massage their defense to help them through the rough time.
Right. And this is where depth comes in. Now you get into this, the 50 to 55, 60 minutes of a game. This is where it gets a little hard on the bench when you don't have a bench. I remember the best years I had deep teams where I could just kind of put fresh bodies in, and play. It really does help.
Having an All-American helps too.
That didn't hurt. That certainly didn't hurt.
Remarkably, how deep a team can be when there's an All-American.
Right.
There's another save by Drummond.
See, again, I'd like her to just get her team up, get organized. But she's only a sophomore. She'll learn.
Another chance here for East Lyme. Shot and a goal scored. Put away by Abigail Belleville and a 4-0 Viking lead.
Yep.
4-0 Vikes, and I'm seeing a trend here. They don't celebrate individually. You score a goal, you turn around, you run back to your position like, you know
goal
what,
scored
we've
by
done
number
this.
11, Abigail Belleville.
So Belleville with a
Time of the goal is 49-31.
That's why they're the class of, they're the class of the
Yes.
league, and this is why when, Bacon beats them, it's a huge deal,
Yes.
and when they lose, it's wow, really? And they got a very good team. Defensively, we'll see how, Pace and some other teams that have a prolific goal scorer, how do they match up? That'll be interesting to see.
The goals for East Lyme tonight have been scored by a freshman, Summer Antonino, a sophomore, Abigail Belleville,
Yep.
and a junior, Margaret Dunn. So, this East Lyme team is going to be here for the next few years, so watch out. Sports Doctor, you got Coach Redding.
I do. Coach, you talked about at halftime, quicker, faster, one touch and just get the ball moving. You like what you see in the first 10 minutes of the second half?
I like a lot what I see. It's good. They listen to what I was saying at halftime, which is nice, and they're making it happen. They're doing what they're told and putting it on the field, and it's obviously making them successful, which is wonderful.
All right, so up 4-0 now. Is the game plan changed from here on out, or you just try to keep the pedal to the metal?
We're kind of a pedal to the metal kind of team, so that they get used to the speed, and so we start putting other people in, so they get used to that speed also. So we work better as a team altogether.
All right, and lastly, Coach, I appreciate the time. How would you compare your coaching, say, presence on the sidelines versus Rob Rules?
Well, I'm much calmer than he is.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you. Coach?
Hey, that's why she wins more, too.
I don't know that I would say that you're, I don't think you lack intensity, Coach, but I don't see you as an animated, sideline crazy person.
I learned, I became a fine wine, Casey. I just learned how to enjoy a little bit more, and it's a player's game, and sometimes I just got in their way, and you have to learn the hard way.
I was joking with Coach Bill Glennie before the game. I said, watching you on the sidelines during our broadcasts have been one of my highlights. I said, it's not that you're crazy animated. I said, but it's like a switch flicks, and all of a sudden you're this laser-focused guy. Your comments make me laugh. You're so dry, blah, blah, blah. I said, I would have thought you'd be way more animated. And he said, you should have seen me when I first started.
Yeah.
And I said, why is that? He goes, I was 22 years old in my first head coaching job. He said, I just jumped around and screamed all for 80 minutes.
We coached every play.
Yeah.
You just heard yourself coaching every play. And then you realize, 10 years in, you're like, they're not even processing the information I'm saying right now. They've already on to the next play. And Coach, the sports doctor knows that down there. It's a player's game, and people just can't process that information so quick. Stop coaching every play, let the kids play, and became a better coach because of that. Well, it's all debatable. That's debatable.
Throw in from White, and there's a offsides as Dunn took a little step in front of the defender, got the offsides call. We're down under 28 minutes down, 27 and a half here, 4-0. East Lyme on top.
Case, isn't it amazing though? You shut down Healy, hold her scoreless, and it's 4-0. That's
with three different people scoring the goals. Although I would suggest that Healy is the mechanism that makes them go, because when she was out of the game for that brief period of time, there really wasn't a whole lot of offensive chemistry for East Lyme. They became a lot more stagnant.
Right.
When she's in the game, she's just, whether she's facilitating, and you said it yourself, she's the one that started that first goal.
Yeah, second goal. Yeah, second goal.
And she's the one that started the first goal.
Yeah, she's just does all that hard work.
A lot of running down there from Jess English, but good defense. And we'll get a goal kick.
Yeah, I like that with Jess. I like her that she's not giving up. Still going to give everything she's got. It's easy. It's easy just for 4-0 to just say, you know what, I'm not even going to make the run. And she's not. Being a good team player. That's what Coach Ledyard said. She loves this kid, loves this team. Kids love each other too, and It's great. It's great for future ahead of them.
Little touch. Belleville.
Good battle there. Showing a sign of life.
Watch Healy there now if they can get through the ball. She was marked, and then the mark left her to step 2, and that's a choice, but it's a dangerous choice. I'm thinking they transition. Someone's on her at all times.
Yep.
So if the midfielder leaves her, then that means that the defender's going to have to step up to her.
Yep. Like how, if you listen to East Lyme talking out there, you can hear them up here. They're all communicating. When they get up, they're all moving off the ball. It's, but to think about, they're doing this off of a 2-week shutdown case.
That's right.
They
That's
were
right. Oh, here comes
ball.
Healy with a breakaway. Only the goalie to beat, and Healy touches it in front. Unselfish, but they're going to call offsides. She had Antonino running, and what an unselfish play from Healy. She beat the defender. She beat the keeper. She could have had a goal. She touches it over to Antonino, and instead it's offsides.
An incredible run. That's where, Healy, be selfish. Finish it, But that's her style. She's an unselfish player. And guess what? It's not surprising. But she's starting to get a little hungrier now. She's starting to get up there in the attack. But see that change of pace, though?
Mm-hmm.
Just to, peel away. And the ball was played perfectly. Center mids for East Lyme played a really nice game. Getting everyone involved. They're truly center midfielders, connecting the backs to the forwards. They're well organized, well coached. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good soccer. Good to see it.
Colonel's clear, and it will go all the way out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in on the far side for East Lyme.
Yep.
East Lyme pretty much living in the Ledyard defensive zone right now.
Yeah. They got fields tilted, as they say.
Nice center by Healy with the left foot. Rolling around now and touched out Belleville to White. Nice job, Colonels.
Good win.
Good touch back in.
So, Case, what we were just talking about was East Lyme was shut down. It wasn't like months ago. It was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I think Coach was telling them, stay fit, keep running. They couldn't, they couldn't organize as a group. They couldn't, they had no core forwards. They were completely shut down. And
Yeah.
to come out here like this.
Yeah, they're not like they're, you can't only so much practice in your backyard too.
Right.
Not with your teammates, like you said.
Yeah. 14 days later, this is how they're playing.
And if I was shut it'd be Netflix and Oreos. I'm saying, right? It would be a lot. It would be very difficult for me to. You said stay fit. I don't know. 2 weeks is gonna be tough.
Yes, it's quite a feat to do that. But you can also say they're playing with a passion too now.
That is true.
They can't wait to be back on the field. Something was taken away from them that they loved. So you can see that in their intensity.
And we talked earlier about how the advancement of girls soccer and how the girls have. There's also way more technology, information, available. So you mentioned, all right, I'm home for 2 weeks. What do I do?
Yep.
Well, I promise you, the coach had a fitness plan
Correct.
designed for each one of them, which is something that didn't exist back when we played. But also, you go on YouTube and come up with, live coaching sessions and drills you can do in your backyard, or drills you could do in your living room, or things you could do to. Back in the day, it would have been, well, you can run.
Yeah. Think about what you're doing. What Game Day's done. These kids are watching your replays. They're watching these teams play. They're looking at film. You guys have given this sport adrenaline, really a boost of energy, and kids are on it. They're watching these games.
Sports Doctor, you're down on the sidelines. Coach.
Coach Ledyard here. Coach, they kind of jumped on you and got a couple of quick goals to start the second half. You've righted the ship. Are you guys a little tired out there?
Yeah, we're tired. This is a team that's got a very strong core group, so they do a lot of the work, and so when it gets to this point in the game, especially when they're working so hard in the first half, it's hard to keep it up. So this is kind of what I was talking about, when they've got the heart, are we going to get there? And East Lyme came out ready, and they've got great players, so it makes sense. But
Right. Coming off that first game where you guys lost so lopsidedly, you got to be happy with your team's performance thus far.
Oh, yes, definitely. We've come a long way since then, and we knew we were going to try and give them a game, and I think the first half was great. I honestly am not disappointed with the second half. It's just kind of what happens when when you're getting tired, There's not much else to say about it.
So we were talking, too, and I said, Casey's up there talking, and you said, what'd you say to me?
I said Rob likes to talk a lot, too.
Guys, go to work, fellas. I'll talk to you after the game. Coach, Casey.
Oh, I love that kid.
Oh.
She was a great player, great kid. I knew she'd be a great coach, and coming down from Vermont for Ledyard and like Coach Olson, Amanda Olson, the principal here, to give this kid a chance to hire her in the school and to really be to be enthralled, just to be impressed with Emily Lahed as an educator and a coach and a female coach added to the ranks here. Just it's a perfect fit for Coach Lahed. She's right where she wants to be. She loves these kids, loves this town, and Coach Buonicor's got a great little young coach here. So good stuff.
East Lyme starting to sub. We got a couple subs into the game. Sachi Vora and Grace Wadsworth checking into the ball game for East Lyme. Two juniors getting some playing time here with 20 minutes remaining in the ball game. 4-0 Vikings on top. Yeah, growing up with Jimmy Buonicor, who was 2 years, 2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Everyone, the great the Buonicor family. His father, the great coach, and I don't think anyone doubted that Jimmy would be a great player. He was. I don't think anyone doubted that he would be an exceptional coach. He was.
Right.
I don't think anyone doubted that he would even, be the kind of person. There's a ripped shot on goal and a save. Nice ripped shot from English and a save from Masung. But I don't think anybody could have foreseen, and I certainly didn't, what an administrator he is. He runs Ledyard High School athletics like a true program, and so each team is a program, but the sports program at Ledyard High School is so well done. He's incorporated tons of the other teachers, administrators, coaches. The facilities are top notch, and you mentioned, the coaches he's brought in. He's got great support from a fabulous principal, who is, a great athlete in her own right. So she, clearly understands the value of sports, but he runs things, and he's helped turn the ECC into statewide leaders in the way we approach things. And I pray he's not listening right now, because that's really more compliments in one breath than I've given him in 20 plus years. It kind of hurts me a little bit, but sports doctor.
Fine, Jimmy Buonicor. Go back to 2015. Remember that run that Ledyard football had?
Yes.
Undefeated. They just got stymied by St. Joe's in the championship game. But yeah, Jimmy's done a lot of good things here, and I think if you ask the nose to a man coaches that state championship in football kind of eluded him, but nothing that he did not do, Casey. Just ran to a couple of good St. Joe's teams.
Right. Yes, a couple of St. Joe's
Schools
teams
of choice
that Mike DeMoro wisely said didn't belong where they were. Coming in the other direction now, White puts it through. Little touch back to White. Overlapping run was well done with Antonina. White
did a nice job holding her run. She slowed down her run a little bit. That's a foul.
And it'll be an East Lyme kick, or they're going to just stay out of bounds. It'll be a throw. We'll see what the referee. I know sometimes when they blow the whistle and they see the ball go out, they'll just take the throw.
Yeah.
Nope, they're going to make it a kick.
It's a frustration foul there. But this is dangerous. You got to mark up. Looks like number 5's open right now. They gotta identify that kid's wide open.
Mazzulli will take the kick. In range where she is. Far post and no one home, but that's a nice ball.
Great ball. I know you're talking about Jimmy Buonicor. Coach Lahed said that right at the very beginning. He's been nothing but supportive, getting all these kids opportunities on the field, making sure everyone's checked. I'll tell you what, off the record, he heard of some events that were probably getting planned, and he nicely called some kids into his office and said, hey, I'm hearing this stuff. And that's what you have to do in this day and age. You have to have your ear to the grind, or to the ground. And sure enough, made sure he explained to the young student athlete who might make a decision that he might regret. He said, hey, don't let your teammates down. So he's a class act. He's done a great job.
Dorico plays it back in the middle to English. Ledyard with a sensing an opportunity maybe to score. Dorico in the middle, stops on a dime, puts it back right, but stout defense by East Lyme stones the Colonels. Well, you remember when,
He's class act, just
you remember when it might, you would have heard the same thing. It would have been that kids were planning a party and maybe someone was drinking, and so you'd call them in and say, hey, I've heard this. Now it's, hey, listen, guys, I heard you getting together, and well, Coach, we're not going to be doing anything wrong. Well,
just the fact that you're getting together.
You can't get together.
Yep.
I give.
Do you want to be the reason you cannot play sports for the rest of the year?
You want your school to be shut down.
Yeah, and that's just him seeing next level, of administration now. And these younger school administrators, they got their finger on the pulse. They do. They have to balance a lot, and he's done a great job out here. And that's coming from a coach who just said, I'm getting nothing but support here.
Yeah, the programs here at Ledyard High School top notch. Now here's another good example. These girls getting to play on
turf
on this facility. I mean, what a great, beautiful field. Here on Bill McNaught Field. 15 minutes remaining in the ball game. 4-0. East Lyme on top.
It really is a beautiful, beautiful place.
Press it, Ledyard, come on!
Right now we're at the point in the game where Ledyard wants to score a goal. I mean, that's really
Correct.
what it is. They
Correct.
just want to get one in.
Yep, get one.
And since they were shut out 8-0, I think they've already established, we're better. We're better than we were when we played them last time. They beat us 8-0.
Right.
But now the amount of energy, pride, sort of the boost that you can get from scoring one would be enormous.
So she just timed that run.
It was all about, she slowed up,
Yep.
waited, and rips it on to goal. Healy, I tell you what, you can watch her play. She's got both the talent and the IQ.
Yep. Yeah, just times her run so well. Yeah, I'd like to see, I'd like to see Ledyard get one. Just to grind it out, manufacture a goal. And to East Lyme's credit, putting their subs in there, getting these kids a chance to play because they haven't played not only 2 weeks, but don't play the minutes like the starters do. So these are valuable minutes for these other kids who are young.
That's right.
Too, Casey.
On the other side of things, East Lyme's thinking to themselves, we don't want to give up a goal.
Right.
That's it. So yeah. And so the Cinderella story is, can Ledyard get one in? But East Lyme's out there going, no, we're not giving up a goal. This is shutouts are precious,
right.
And a great source of pride in soccer.
Yep, they take that stuff seriously.
I think one year Grasso Tech only fielded 8 players, and we were able to shut them out when I played. And I think I still might have that. I might have made myself a banner and hung it on my wall. Shutouts are.
They are.
Shutouts are impressive.
They are.
They're important. And because a shutout in soccer is 11 people.
Yeah, it means you were perfect in a way.
And it's
in a funny way.
It does. But it's 11 people. Yeah. The goalie doesn't get credit. Even the goalie is but the goalie can't do it without the defense. And I promise you, the defense can't do it without a stout midfield. And the midfield can't do it if the offensive players aren't helping out and sort of forechecking up front and stopping. And it takes 11.
You're right. One mental mistake from anybody.
That's right.
Put you in a bad place. Put you in a bad spot in the field for a free kick, a set piece, counterattack, like anything can derail.
We saw how close Ledyard was on multiple occasions to putting one in.
Right.
And as you get closer, you start to sense it now. Right now, so now East Lyme's thinking, shutout would be nice.
Yeah. Yep. But Coach Redding's teams, they play 80 minutes too, so I don't think East Lyme's done.
Look at the fight from
Entering the
Dorico.
game for East Lyme.
You gotta love that.
Number 2, Alex Prevost. Number 7, Caitlin O'Day. And number
Lexi
16,
Prevost.
Isabella Mazzi.
And Isabella Mazzi back in the game for East Lyme. So some substitutions. The Vikings rotating some new players into the game and some old ones back into the game.
Yep.
There's Lombardo.
It's a little different now too, Casey, with you don't know when the season could be over. So it is kind of a different coaching philosophy now, isn't it?
Yeah, you're also not playing for a state championship, which which was always the goal of a really competitive team, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was always about making the playoffs, or how deep a run in the playoffs could you make, or could you know, for example, you know, the Stonington Bears. They came into the boys. They came into the season saying we're going to compete for a state championship, and when that's taken off the table, it changes dramatically what the goal of the season becomes.
Right.
So for some of these kids right now, it's like you said, it's about having the chance to play. It's a nice
Great
ball.
ball.
Dorico running on. Dorico makes a move towards goal and knocked away by Lexi Prevost, but that will be a corner kick for Ledyard as we're coming down to 10 minutes remaining, 10 and a half here left. 4-0, East Lyme on top.
Casey, when you talk about some of these student athletes just getting a chance to play this year, that's a big deal for Caitlin O'Day over on East Lyme. You see her on the far side of the field with a knee brace, missed most of last season with an ACL, and would have been a big part in East Lyme's quest for a state championship. So great story by Vicky Fulkerson in the day earlier this year profiling Caitlin getting back on the field.
Saw that. That was a great article.
And that's a great point because a lot, you know, the transition for these players, you know, again, we go back a year ago and the worst thing we were thinking about was games had to be played early because Triple E.
Right.
And then you had kids lost to injury, kids who lost their season, and now these kids were faced with losing their senior season, and that's a great example of just the meaning it has to get back on the field again. Absolutely. That's a great point, Peter.
Yeah, and I thought on top of that, Vicky's job of just identifying O'Day with not only getting the comeback, but what an incredible leader she is. I think she's a team captain, and kids love her, and just the work that she put in to be on the field. It was a great article by Vicky. Great kid.
And, you know, having had ACL reconstruction myself when I was only a couple of years older than her, it's not an end of career sentence like it was years ago.
Right.
She's back, you know, a year later playing meaningful soccer, and that's a testament to her hard work. Because I promise you, the rehab was daunting, and she had to have attacked the rehab like she attacked soccer in order to be back on the field.
Correct. Yep. Good point.
I had surgery on Thursday. You know, I'm back at it off of my
Really?
surgery. Why do you listen? The only reason the sports doctor was allowed to take over duties on Friday and Saturday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had to go under the
Go
scope.
to the knife.
I had to go under the scope.
Doesn't sound as good.
No, it really doesn't. But there was no knife, which is
know.
unfortunate. But I mean, had to make an incision somehow, I guess. I still have the stitches to prove
Let's
it.
stick to knife.
Some of those pictures were pretty gruesome you sent out there, partner.
Oh, I went in for surgery
Right.
to clean up a knee that had ACL, MCL reconstruction 30 years ago.
Wow.
And to the great credit, look at Dorico still working
Oh.
hard. To the great credit of my doctor, Kelly, 30 years ago, my reconstruction is still sound and it looks great. But scar tissue, bone spurs, and a torn medial meniscus required me to go under the scope. A buff and shine, as Dr. Joyce called it.
I would have think a guy like your caliber, Casey, would go see Dr. James Andrews, no?
Dr. Joyce is the surgeon of UConn and of the Connecticut Sun.
All right.
So I had a Division I surgeon.
We might have a direct kick here for Ledyard.
And a chance for them to score a goal.
That's
But
good. This could be it.
It is, as Dr. Joyce said, a buff and shine. He said, don't worry, you'll be up and running the next day. Turns out he overestimated the quality of my knee. And I sent the sports doctor and Peter Wappy a picture of the giant cryo cuff on my knee and said, good luck today, boys. I'll be rehabbing. So we're going to get a direct kick here. Ledyard with under 7 minutes when it comes up. Here comes English, low line drive, and what a save by Masong! Jess English, the sophomore, ripped a low line drive, lower right.
Great hit.
And what a save. And then another one. Talk about stout.
Yes.
You know, sturdy.
Good hands. But what a,
Play
two
the
hits
game
in a
too.
row.
And that was
English
the best
just showed you.
opportunity.
Well, English just showed you what kind of athlete she is. You know?
That was first of all, the direct kick was
A
perfect.
bullet.
It
Yeah.
was perfect. And
Yep.
not only was the save brilliant, but no rebound.
Well, I think she took it so quick that Lily was actually moving to the center of the goal, but she took it so quick, she hit it right to her. She would have vacated the space if she waited. So sometimes it's good to be lucky too, but it's You know, Lily's a great goalkeeper. You've seen that. She doesn't give up any rebounds.
And then the second one
Was a rope.
was a frozen rope on a cold night too. I know that one. That was.
Yep.
And that was soft when you said the soft hands. I mean, she just accepted it.
Yep.
Seems
There
to
goes
have
Healy.
woken up Healy. She's on a run right now.
Just get out of my way, she says.
Streaking down the middle, dumps it off for her teammate, try to get a return pass, but Ledyard was there.
Sometimes that's where you want your teammates just to stop, drift away.
Outside it goes. Motzi back in the middle. Shot, and Drummond will stand firm as Mazzulli on a little one-timer from Motzi, and it was cleaned up by Drummond.
Well, I'm watching English in the back right now for Ledyard, limping for the last 20 minutes. Just the heart, you know. She doesn't want to come out.
And there is the other English. Jess English puts it out wide.
That's a 60-yard run.
And look at knowing where you want to lead your teammate to. That was well done.
Yeah.
She put the ball into space and said, this is where I need you to go.
Yep.
That's like a quarterback, throwing it to the pylon and saying, this is where I need you to get to.
Yep.
Well done.
Yep. It's their job to get there. You know, you work off your best player.
And for all of you New England Patriot haters out there, the sports doctor might, in fact, be the starting quarterback of the Patriots next week.
It's a bit disappointing. We'll say it was a bit disappointing.
Sports doctor,
Here we
who's
go.
an avid Pats fan, is in agony right now.
You get what you get. I mean, and Cam Newton, he is who he is, Casey. That's
Well,
there's no surprise there.
Who
is
else
it?
could he be?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Listen, he throws for 400 yards up at Seattle, and then he throws for 92 yards and a dozen picks at home. I mean, he's been like that for a long time.
Whoa!
Not to channel the sports doctor, because sometimes I can be a little over analytical, but the junior voice of game, they said, "What's wrong with the Patriots?" And I said, "They stink, son." I said they stink. They're not very talented, and there is the truth to that.
Yeah, that's true.
That is 100% accurate.
They do not have a lot of talent. English is still working like crazy down there. Give her all the credit in the world.
Yep.
Jess English is not giving up.
She just took a ball down. She had such soft feet. She took a ball down, roped to her feet, and settled it, right? Like it was nothing. Soft feet. Nice. Like
Casey,
that
I
kid.
laid off your Cowboys, though. You notice that?
They stink, too. They stink worse. So we'll be at 3.5 minutes, so it's time to start thinking about the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter on Game Day CT, where tonight you can see the Sports Doctor's interview with the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. And, of course, nothing beats the smiles created by having the play of the game, the Waterford Dental Health Top Play. So remember tonight to check out the Waterford Dental Health Play of the Game and the Player of the Game, as great smiles start at Waterford Dental Health. Of course, we want to thank the Burns Agency as well. 3.5 minutes remaining here, 4-0 East Lyme. And I think in terms of Player of the Game candidates, you got 3 different goal scorers.
Yep.
You've got a shutout, perhaps.
Yep.
And you've got the dynamic player who does a little bit of everything. But I'm going to make a suggestion off of the conversation that we just had. I am going to make the suggestion that the sports doctor interviews Caitlin O'Day.
Yep.
And find out what it means to play on this team under these circumstances, coming back off of her injury to have meaningful soccer. I think that might be as good a person as any. I mean, you can give any week you can give Meredith Healy the player of the game. I mean, she's the player of the game anytime you want.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that, Casey.
I do too.
I like that a lot. She just came off the field in front of me, and she was all smiles, and I said, it feels good to be back out there. And she says, you bet it is.
Yep.
So that's a great story.
Great kid.
Healy's done a little bit of everything out there. She's facilitated on a couple of goals, and then she passed up a goal to try to set up a teammate. And like you said, Coach, everything runs through Healy.
Yeah, it does. And she'd be the first person to be psyched that O'Day is the one sitting there with you at the end of this game. She said it's about her team. It's about the group. So it's fitting.
Under 2 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Ledyard wants one more run and one more chance to try to get something in, but instead East Lyme Healy not done yet. She is,
Nope.
I'll tell you, the motor on her is
It
never ending.
ends.
She's like a plugged-in Tesla. I'll tell you, an electric car reference there, Sports Doctor. 1:30 remaining here in the ball game. 4-0 East Lyme on what has been a very well-played game, really on both sides. East Lyme, I think, showing their talent level while they are not the 8-0 victors that they were the first time. They've played well today.
They really did. And if Ledyard did not play well,
it may have been.
Yeah, could have been worse. So good for them.
In front, weak side, a shot, and a goal! I think Healy finally put it in. It looked like Belleville put the shot on goal, and Healy cleaned it up. 5-0 Vikings with just under a minute remaining. So there she gets the goal. And, it's hard to say that a goalie played great in a 5-0 shot, in a 5-0 loss. But
Right.
Bella Drummond's played great.
She played great. She's a great athlete. She's not going to hang her head. It's a young kid. I'll tell you what, this Abigail Belleville, she, to me, number 11.
East Lyme
For
goal
East Lyme.
scored by number 12, Meredith Healy.
She's had a great game.
Time of the goal is 79:02. Belleville assisting.
Yeah, she's had a great game. She's a great little center mid. I like how she plays. She gives up the ball. She's a tireless worker. She's going to come up big.
So if you're interested in the Vikings, right? So the goalie, Masung, she's a junior. She's back.
I was going to
next
ask you. You have the ages right there, right?
Lombardo, she's a freshman. Belleville, she's a sophomore. Healy, she's a junior. Pizzella's is a sophomore.
Yep.
Dunn's a junior. McCullum's a sophomore. That's a lot. So they're going to lose. They're going to lose O'Day, and
Yep.
they're going to lose Kung,
Yep.
and they're going to lose Monsi. And the other 9 people that we've seen play a lot tonight are all coming back, including the superstar, including the up-and-coming sophomores. That's it's a lot of good stuff coming back.
Yeah,
and
there is.
there's your buzzer, your horn, a 5-0 Viking lead
Ladies and gentlemen,
that turns
the final
into a
score tonight,
5-0
Vikings 5,
shutout
Colonel
win
0.
as goals from Antonino and Dunn and an
For
own
those
goal.
of you that wish to watch a
and
replay of
Healy,
the game and check highlights and
4
interviews,
players.
go to
5-0 final here at Ledyard High School. A good effort from the Colonels, but not quite enough in the tank. Tomorrow night, 4 o'clock, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, 4 o'clock at Waterford High School. Soccer on tap again, so turn us live for game day. And then Saturday, 2 games, the boys and girls, Waterford East Lyme at Waterford on Saturday as well. So soccer taking center stage here on game day tomorrow and on Saturday. Coach, final thoughts?
No, I thought it was great. I thought it's just good to be out here watching these kids play. You could tell that East Lyme had a 2-week shutdown, and they were playing like today was the last game of the season. So I think their energy came. I think their thoroughbreds went out there and ran and played. And I give Ledyard, not a deep team. I give them a lot of credit for showing up and never giving up, never quit.
As we mentioned, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Game Day CT, and you can see the Sports Doctor's interview with the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game, as well as the Smiles Start Here Play of the Game, Waterford Dental Health. We want to thank the Burns Agency. Like Game Day, the Burns Agency is always local and live, focusing on community. You'll always get a live person on the phone. So remember, you buy better at Burns. For the Sports Doctor, Keith O'Brien, and the coach, Rob Brule, Peter Wappy, and the crew, I'm Casey O'Neill. Join us tomorrow night at Waterford, 4 o'clock. You've been watching Game Day live on theday.com.